What is up, everybody? Good morning and welcome to the Shred Show live. Yeah, we are live. Doesn't matter coronavirus. Doesn't matter what's going on. We are live, and I'm live with Christy Furco and John Gibson here at Flagstar. You guys, you've seen me in this office before with Christy, hanging out. We've done some great interviews from here, and we're here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it's craziness going on in our industry, and we're going to be talking about that this morning. But before we do, of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us live this morning. We got some really fun stuff to talk about. But if you're joining us live right now, comment hashtag Flagstar. That's where we're hanging out. That's where we're live from. So make sure you comment hashtag Flagstar if you're watching us live. And if you're watching us on the replay, make sure you comment hashtag hustle because you're out there, you're working hard, and you're hustling. But Christy, John, thanks for joining me this morning. Even with coronavirus, NBA shutting down, but Flagstar's still doing business. So that's
live.
Good news.
Yeah, live and in the house.
We're live. We're in person, right?
John's over here sneezing. Me and Christy over here like, that's why you can see he's kind of on that side of the shot, and we're hanging out here. But so let's dive right into this because literally the market is crazy right now. Like it is absolute pandemonium in our industry right now. Let's start, Christy. Should things be going this crazy? Like, should we be concerned? What is Flagstar doing to kind of calm the nerves of the industry?
Yeah, I can't explain how crazy it's going. I mean, this thing is picking up momentum as we speak. I mean, I literally just flew back last night from the midwinter conference with the NBA in Vail. And we had some great conversations with 120 plus CEOs around what's happening in the market. And it's unexplainable. I mean, everybody was having the same experience, which is what is happening? We've never seen this historic lows. And, you know, the 10-year bounced back a little bit yesterday, but we're back down. I don't know where it is now, but it was 69 basis points before we started this session. So it is. And I think it's being really driven by a lot of the fear that's happening in the market right now. I mean, I think the precautions that you saw the NBA games last night get shut down. And I think we're just going to see more of this. So the crazy is here, and it's just a function of taking those precautions and being safe with it and taking advantage of what we all know is this once in a lifetime opportunity for the market. But care, I think, is the thing that the market needs to focus on, because panic is not helpful for anybody. But so we just need to be focused on what's the care that we can really have. And that's what we're trying to do at Flagstar. How do we care for our employees, make sure they're safe, but how do we care for our customers as they're caring for their customers, and really just figuring out where's the right place for us to be, making sure we're focused on taking care of the customer, taking care of our employees, and capturing, you know, what we can now to help people refinance in these unusually low rates.
Well, and they just are. They're unusual. It's crazy. But John, you and I were kind of talking about this too a little bit earlier. Our industry does this. Sometimes we get an opportunity, and it's a huge opportunity. Like it's great, but sometimes we get too frantic and we get too a little bit overreactionary, if you will. So how do we bring that back? How do we really focus on what's important right now?
Yeah, I think you and I were talking about before we started, right? This disruption, this isn't the first time we've seen this in this industry.
No.
Right? Now, granted, these are levels that we probably haven't seen going back to like 2012, 2008, right? So I think to Christy's point, right, some of this is just having, you know, some rationality settle back in and understanding this is probably going to be our new norm for a little while, right?
Yep,
and
sometimes
it's day to day, it's hour by hour, and sometimes even minute by minute, right? So I think some of that's the new norm. I do think there are some things, though, like how do we kind of settle in, Josh, to your question, right? And I think, you know, you and I have talked about this before. There's two things I believe in firmly. Like, you wake up every day and you can control your work ethic and your mindset, right?
Yep.
And I think that is back to basics in a time like where we are right now. LOs, our business partners, there are more transactions out there. There are more people interested in refinancing or purchase now than they've probably seen in the last 12 or 18 months. And I think some of the things that I look at is it's back to basics, right? Like, if you're an LO today, the natural reaction in this marketplace is, oh my God, I took the application. I got to get it registered. I got to get it in. I might not even have any conditions on the loan, but let's just get it in line and get it going.
Right.
You should be doing the exact opposite in this marketplace, right? Set the right expectations with your business, with your borrowers and your business partners, your referral partners. And at the end of the day, the better job you do at setting those expectations, something simple as, you know, submitting a complete package, which is, again, probably the different mindset in today's marketplace. Stuff like that helps our business partners meet their clients' needs. It helps us as lenders, not just Flagstar, everybody.
Right.
It helps them meet your needs for your business partners. And I think that makes the process flow a lot better versus in this marketplace, your first reaction is, oh my God, turn times are expanding. People are having capacity issues. It's coming if it hasn't happened already in some cases. And what do I need to do differently? You need to do exactly what you should have been doing all along.
Yeah.
Which Yeah, go ahead.
And that, well, I was going to say, I just building, that's why I use the word care.
Right.
Because it really
Absolutely.
is,
Right.
how do we communicate to people right now that you got to take care of the customer? Because this is, again, a repeat customer and a relationship that you want to take care of. And as customers are panicking and people are, frantic about what's happening in the market and these unusually low rates and how do we take advantage of it, care and communication is so critical right now to make sure people understand you're on it and you're doing. Time frames may be a little longer than usual, but communicating where you are in the process and setting expectations. Don't lock loans at 30 days. You're not going to be able to get them done.
Right.
Manage expectations around 60 or 90, right? Wherever people are. And so I just think that care and communication is really critical right now for everybody to think about that relationship and how critical the relationship is right now and make sure they're taking care of that.
And I think it's so, what you guys have both mentioned, it's so critical for us as originators to really understand is like, we're so used to these, 15-day turn times. Ladies and gentlemen, like that's not happening. Like you really need to, and I even heard an LO saying, well, no, we're still going to get it done in 20 days. And I'm like, guys, like you need to set those expectations with your client, because if you're not, it makes us as an industry look really bad.
That's right.
That's why these type of conversations, this type of collaboration is so critical. And originators, we need to be educated. We need to be the advisors that the experts that we're talking about all the time.
Right.
And again, that's why we're talking to you guys about this right now, because yes, there is the opportunity, like you mentioned, Christy, is absolutely insane right now. And how many people's families we can bless with helping them refinance, getting into a rate that I don't think any of us ever imagined rates would be here. Like this is so cool. So it is an opportunity. We just need to be educated ourselves before we start going and throwing out numbers and things to our clients.
Right. Well, and how much better telling someone it's going to be 45 days and getting it done in 20, right?
Exactly.
Even if you believe that,
You bet.
then you've way over delivered on their expectation. And if they're in the house already and you've guaranteed what the rate's going to be, why does it matter if it's 45 days, right? I mean, but managing these expectations is so critical right now. And I think that's what's going to matter to consumers.
Well, and I think that's back to the basics conversation, to your point, right? Like, think about it. You lock a loan in for 30 days, but you're not going to be able to deliver for 45. Now, what's the conversation you have to have with your customer, right? With your repeat customer. You're setting that expectation, and all of a sudden you're not living up to what their expectation is based off of what you said, versus I set it at 45 or 60. And to your point, I close it 15 days earlier.
Yeah. All unhappiness has started with unmet expectations.
Absolutely.
So true.
I mean, think about it. In a very short time period, how long is it going to take to get an appraisal done?
Yep.
Right? You're not going to make those commitments anyway. It's funny. I reached out to a company that I know that is, very focused on purchase, in-house, lender for a real estate company. And I asked a simple question. Hey, have you started to see your contracts push out to like 30, 45-day terms? And the answer I got back was, no, it's the opposite. Like the real estate agents out in that marketplace are actually writing 23-day contracts because that's how they're winning the listing based off of supply and demand. You're never going to be able to live up to that expectation.
Interesting.
So to me, it's back to the basics, setting the right expectations. And then as an LO, God, the better quality coming in, the easier and the ability to hit those expectations you're setting, it benefits everybody along the way. And again, that's not a Flagstar specific type of thing. That conversation to me is for every LO out there, no matter who you're using. We all play a part in this as a team together, right? As partners. So
Absolutely.
To me, that makes sense.
John just mentioned something that I think is so true, which is the mortgage ecosystem. We're just not individually focused on how do we take care of our customers or the LO taking care of their customers, but this really is about how do we as a collective ecosystem survive what's happening right now. And if you think about it, if this pandemic continues to accelerate the way people are saying that it's going to, the whole ecosystem is going to be under pressure. And so, while again, as an LO, you can commit to whatever your company's turn times are, but then you're going to have the appraisers and the title companies, and everyone's going to get backed up in this with this massive amount of volume that we haven't seen. So at the conference, Mike Fratantoni of the NBA increased his forecast up to like 2.6 trillion. I think it's going to blow way past 2.6.
Totally
no
agree.
offense, Mike,
Right.
but I think we're going way past 3 or higher. And so it really is a function of, how do we make sure this is in for the long haul? Let's settle into it, not panic, and let's just do good business.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. This is a long-term, but so many of us, we go through what I call like the originator roller coaster, the ups and the downs, but you have to focus long-term. Like you mentioned, Christy, yes, right now it's phenomenal. Rates are good. But again, ladies and gentlemen, being in the mortgage industry, being mortgage advisors, it's a long-term vision. It's not just the loan tomorrow. It's not the people you're helping tomorrow. It's, hey, let's settle into this. Like you said, I think that's a really good, let's settle in. Let's just kind of take a deep breath. Hey, we know what we're doing. And it goes back to what you and I were talking about earlier too, John. Like, guys, we're professionals. We've been here before. Most of us have been in this situation. Yes, we have the coronavirus in kind of with the mix, which is not helping everything, but we're professionals. Let's settle in. Let's do our job. Let's help the people that our passion that we always talk about. Let's really focus on those people and help them. Which goes back to what you were talking about, Christy. Flagstar really does care about people, and it's focused not only just on the people here at Flagstar, but it's on the clients they work with, and ultimately the consumers. That's not going to change anytime soon.
It's not. I mean, that's our bread and butter at Flagstar. That's when we talk about, what is our basis to compete and our strategic advantage. Taking care of our customer has always been that for us. And so we're keeping that front and center. And as we are looking at turn times, as we're looking at the business we're bringing in, we're being thoughtful about not just gobbling up everything because it's here, but can we make sure we deliver on our expectations for our customer? And so balancing the business that we're doing with the capacity that we have to make sure that we can actually deliver on the promise of taking care of our customer. Because we certainly recognize, especially for our broker and correspondent customers, that you have a commitment that you've just made to your customer. And we want to make sure that you can deliver on that when you send a loan to Flagstar. And so we're being really thoughtful and mindful about being able to do that, because this business partnership is absolutely critical. And then for our, loan advisors, they're on the front line, and we want to make sure that we're giving them that protection. And so taking care of that customer is front and foremost for us.
I love that. John, anything else you want to add with Flagstar? Flagstar's doing some big stuff right now. Aside from everything else that's going on, what else should we be looking forward to coming out of Flagstar in the near future?
Yes, I would tell you two things, and just to expand on something Christy said just a second ago. We're getting, again, in that balancing act of production coming through the door versus being able to meet our business partners, not only obviously their expectations, but their clients' expectations, their borrowers' expectations. We've been getting a lot of really good feedback recently over the last couple of days from a lot of our business partners around the ability to maintain our turn times in this marketplace. Realistically, obviously, like everybody else, refis are probably going to stretch out a little bit, but we do put priority on purchase business from a standpoint of managing to those capacities. So we're seeing that our strength and our strategy, which has always been one of Flagstar's strengths, is managing to that capacity. So I think we're in a pretty good spot, and we're continuing to look at that day in and day out. Look, the other thing I would tell you, the thing that I'm excited about at Flagstar this year for our business partners, our correspondents, and our wholesale partners is, as you continue to see this year evolve, we are coming to the market every single month with something new. Whether it's technology enhancements, whether it's a new launch of a platform that our business partners are going to be able to use, which makes it easier for them to transact with us, less clicks, more efficiencies. The mobile app, if you look at DM DIY, we're getting ready to roll that out at the end of this month. You have dual AUS coming up. I mean, and even before that, we've rolled out borrower paid. Some of the things that our business partners have been telling us, hey, this is putting you at a competitive disadvantage. We're checking those all off the list. I know Christy's really, she holds me accountable to this on a weekly basis of, we have to be going to market with something related to Flagstar that helps our business partners every single month this year. And we've already done that January and February. We're getting ready to do it in March, and we're going to make sure we keep checking that list off every single month so we can come to the market. And ultimately what that does is it allows our business partners to be more successful. And look, at the end of the day, we're going to fight for what we can fight for, right? But we also know that they have choices. So if we don't step up our game and come to where our business partners need us and meet them, then that impacts our ability to do business with them. And that's what we're tackling this year.
And that's what I'm super excited about. I mean, Flagstar always has been an innovator in the industry. And I think about when I was at Fannie Mae and started calling on Flagstar in 2008. Flagstar was the #2 e-mortgage lender in the country.
Wow.
Right? I mean, that was 2008. And now we're still having the conversation 12 years later in 2020 about should we be doing e-mortgages? So, I mean, Flagstar has always been an innovator in the technology space. And, coming through the crisis, we had some things to work out, but we are back in a big way. I'm so proud of our technology team under the leadership of Paul Orlando, who built the system and, was really enhancing it. We're taking it to the next level. And as John said, we want to be back in that innovative space, delivering value for our customers out there and making sure that, ease of use, serving your customers. Like those are things that are front and center on our technology and innovation platform. And so I keep pushing John, like every month I want news because we want to deliver value for you. And I'm super excited about our ability to be able to take care of our customers and do that.
You know, I couldn't agree more. And you guys continue to add value. You continue to innovate too. Some of the things that you guys are working on from technology, there's so many pieces that you guys are innovating on. And I kind of want to end with this, Christy, because you are one of the leaders in the industry. I mean, of course, both of you guys are, but Christy, you as the leadership role that you have, how important is collaboration with other leaders right here in Michigan? I mean, you have so many other lenders so close to you. You have UWM down the road. You got Quickens close. You got Home Point. How important is it for collaboration as leadership, not only just within Flagstar, but as an industry?
You know, I think it's critical. And the last time you were here, we talked about this, right? It is collaboration versus competition. And I spent 15 years at Fannie Mae, and my job was focused on how to help all lenders be successful, recognizing that we all work together in this big ecosystem. And I worry when the industry starts being about competition and taking each other out, and just the friction that causing that. It's a $2.6 trillion industry and maybe going to 3. There is plenty for all of us to go around and make a lot of money, right? Yep. But I really do believe that we have the shared destiny in this ecosystem called mortgage. And whether we like it or not, I mean, we need to learn from the crisis that we have this shared destiny and we're all in this together. And, we get to do the noble cause of putting people in homes and helping them realize the American dream. And the more we work together on that and recognize that this is a shared destiny, if you will, in this ecosystem, the better we will all be, to the extent that we are furthering the success of all brokers, the success of all correspondents, the success of all loan advisors to take care of customers, the better off we'll all be as an industry. So we are much better together. And so cooperation is the name of the game. And I think we can all win and all make a lot of money doing it.
Man, I'm going to end on that because I got goosebumps when you just shared destiny. Like,
shared
that's
destiny,
why.
Right? Shared
Ladies
destiny.
and gentlemen, Christy is the leader that she is. So I want to thank you guys for taking some time out. So excited to come out and hang out in Flagstar. Like I said, there's so many things from innovation to shared destiny, collaboration, so many things that you guys are doing. So I want to thank you guys so much for letting us come hang out.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for coming to Michigan.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate one thing. You and I have talked about this in previous sessions that we've done together. And I'm just going to throw this out as a challenge to everybody that's watching, right? It is easy to get caught in the cycle that we're in right now because business is great. Refis are, at levels they've never been before. Don't lose sight of when we talk about back to the basics. This is the absolute perfect time to be building purchase referral relationships.
Absolutely.
Because nobody else is doing it.
100%.
Everybody's focusing solely on their pipeline, solely on their past book of business. You need to carve out time, and I'm challenging every LO out there that watches this. You need to focus on building your purchase referral business now when there's less competition for you to go out and do that, because you will reap the benefits of it at some point down the road. Historical times, to your point, we're going to change people's lives with regards to their finances and their payments and their affordability and things that they're going to be able to do. But look at it, you used it earlier, long-term. Purchase is the long-term strategy in this industry. Always has been, always will be. Focus on it now when nobody else is, and you'll benefit from it in the future.
Love that. Guys, thanks so much as always. You guys are incredible. Appreciate you letting me come hang out. Even with the coronavirus, luckily we washed our hands about 1 billion times. We hand sanitized it up. But as always, you can see why Flagstar continues to be at the top of the entire industry with the leadership, with the innovation. So thank you so much for the servant leadership, for all that you guys do for the industry. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks guys.
Great guys, as always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time to go shred, go show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.